I see a good thing arising. I see more goes on the way. I see McNugent, it is frightening. I see greatness when they play. They scored a goal tonight. Well, McNugent's quite a sight. It don't matter who's on the right. I see their chemistry growing. I know this duo could be huge. I see the talent overflowing. I hope the Poho keeps a nooch. They scored a goal tonight. Well, McNugent is quite a sight. It don't matter who's on the right.
6:01 on the Nielson Show. What's going on, everybody? Dusty and Lieutenant Eric back with you once again. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Did the Marlins win last night? No, the Marlins did not win last night. That is a tough pill to swallow on what would have been a fabulous Creed Tuesday. But unfortunately, the Marlins just couldn't get it done.
I think we're over.
Yeah,
If
the Marlins would have won, we would have risked the copyright claim and just played Creed all day.
We got Creed ready to go live here for the past 2 weeks, and they just haven't been able to show up.
Scott Stapp has been living on the couch here in the Edmonton Sports Talk offices. I mean, maybe. I mean, who knows?
Who's to say?
We'll see. Who needs a conch this morning? Let us know. Hit us up at 780-218-9999. Or, of course, in the nasty chat this morning. If you need a conch, you got to let us know why. You got to give us a reason, and we can get into that as we work our way through the show this morning. People have been texting in at 780-218-9999. That is your Paris Jewelers inbox. Canadian and family-owned with 23 locations across this country. Flexible financing options available, including do not pay for 1 year in store with Paris Jewelers. 780-218-9999. The first text today came in at 5:09 this morning asking about any sort of possible trades that could work between the Blue Jackets and the Oilers.
Yes. So, Dirty Don, you are very dirty, my man. That's think of these thoughts at this hour of the day.
Imagine texting an online radio station at 5:09 in the morning about, hey guys, what the story is going on in Columbus. Any trades they can work out? I love it.
I love how the vultures are just circling here around the Blue Jackets. Hey, ripe for the picking, you know? What can we do already?
The answer is probably none, but still that's a legendary 5:09 text. 5:15 this morning from Y2 Bay. Good morning, fellas. Just finishing up another night shift. My question of the day would be, which NFL team should I pour my heart into? I've never been too big into football, but I figure I should get into it. Have a great day, gents.
This is like you looking for that college team.
Yeah, exactly. You need somebody to convince you one way or the other. First of all, let me say this. How about the local club? Exciting quarterback, trending in the right direction right now.
I love where your mind goes on that question.
On the up and up.
Immediately to the local club.
How about you pour your heart into your Edmonton Elks? That could be something you do if you wanted to look south of the border. I do think a good team to invest in right now would be Jacksonville. I still think Jacksonville has an extremely bright future. I mean, I think that would work out very well. So that could be something that you would look at as well. If you just go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com, if you're watching this morning, and I know some people have chimed in on the YouTube channel, been like, hey guys, how can I listen to this live later when I get my car? It's very simple. Just go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com and click Listen Live, and our Listen Live player will pop up, and you can listen to the show all the way in. All right, let's see who is checking in this morning. Joe and Christian and VR Montenegro. Silver Capri, Tube Socks is here. Barry and Chris all checking in this morning in the nasty chat. And, of course, the inbox already pumping as well, 780-218-9999.
And Big G at the Paris Jewelers inbox. Dusty, I bought you some Slurpee straws. What is the address? And he sent, because now you can send pictures to the inbox. So he sent a picture of this pack of nice plastic straws, multicolored. You can have your pick depending on mood.
Oh, my God, what a day.
So you're
a conch for Barry. A conch for Barry this morning. Where's the conch for Barry? What's going on here? Conch isn't playing. My thing froze. Damn it.
No
I was really
straws for
excited
you
about
from
that.
Big G.
I was going to say.
Look, Big G, we owe you a big conch here, and bring the straws. And
Yeah.
we'll get you the address. We'll do all that. But
I'll have to just quickly relaunch.
have to apply some coconut oil to that conch, maybe. Hey,
Well, how many different colors of straws are there? What's
oh, we got a yellow, we got a green, we got like a fuchsia. Looks like it's very neon, very happy, kind of like a an '80s LA Gear type of feel to it. I think you have a fun time drinking whatever drink you're.
I'm glad somebody got to the bottom of how you fix your local straw issues.
But also, he said he bought them, like he used his own
committed
money
to us.
purchased them for you. So
Let me
that's
try this again. We're back, baby.
Yes,
we are back. And thank you very much for the straws. That's excellent. I can't wait.
be slurping all afternoon.
Yeah. You let me know where you are. I'll come get them. Yeah, but I'm up in Fort McMurray. I'll be there this afternoon.
For a plastic straw, you will drive. Yeah.
That would be pretty good. Me to the straws this morning.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Cause I love you. Oh, I love you, John. Oh, I love you, John.
I love you, Strauss. I really do. Hey, how was Monday Night Football? Outside of both games, kind of, I don't know, it was a slog in the mud or something like that.
Well,
right?
this whole doubleheader Monday now that they're going to be kind of
for this week and next week.
Yeah,
right?
and then there's like a Friday game sometimes during this. Like I don't know, the NFL's kind of it's growing up in front of our eyes here. Hey,
it's just good to have football back.
Football is back.
Football's back.
Yeah, the Saints Panthers. That was kind of your, I think
Your
you had the
Saints
joke
Panthers
that it
game.
was. Yeah, I mean it was kind of on the smaller. Look, the wrap of TV wall at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge is great. They had everything on. They had a little bit of tennis. They had the wrestling on as well. They had some baseball. I mean, you're keeping a close eye on the Jays wild card race, out of town scoreboard. But yes, it was the Steelers and Browns taking precedence. You have the Saints Panthers kind of on the littler TV. Nobody was really watching. But Saints Browns, I mean, it was a good game. The pick six, you already knew kind of what was happening. You were telling me yesterday. Yeah. I don't know why I picked the Browns. It was the dumbest choice in the world. Steelers are like 500-0 on Monday night against, it was too much. It was too much stacked against them. The pick six to start. But the food was great. Congratulations to Linda with a Y. She took home a Nick Chubb jersey, which, again, given the events of last night, that's good for her. I mean, it was one of those things where you may never see the guy again, right? Like, it was what an injury. We'll get to that. But
Linda with a Y.
Linda with a Y. Lynda. She
cool.
on the square board. So she got the Chubb jersey. And then, gentleman, I forget his name, but he was the lucky qualifier. We're doing a draw end of November at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, a trip for two to Los Angeles.
That's good.
Los Angeles, Rams and Browns. So
in November. So
you can qualify all the way up until then, every Monday, every Thursday, and every Sunday at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. And I know you're going to ask me what I had to eat. It was that nice, there's a chicken, like a cutlet, a smash, they get them nice and flat, so the flavor has no place to hide.
I love it.
And a nice soft bun, and the lettuce was nice and crisp, and a little bit of mayo, and a little bit of spice on it. And the French fries, you might as well not get any other side.
Are you serious?
The fries are where it's at.
Are they the skinny fries, or the bigger thick cut
they're
fries?
Like, they're just regular sized, but they put that nice seasoning on it, and they don't go too heavy, but they don't go too light. So every fry's nice and seasoned, and I mean. Yeah, the best part is you don't even need the gravy. Like, would you like some gravy? Don't need it. Not with these fries.
Are you dipping in
That
ketchup, or
kitchen-
are they standalone fries?
You can just eat them.
What?
It's so good.
Holy smokes.
The kitchen is like a homemade. It's not something you would expect at a casino.
Yeah.
So, yeah, come by, give it and then this Thursday is
sounds
that
exciting.
brisket cheesesteak special, which everybody was eating last Thursday. And I'm going to eat it every single Thursday. Mondays, it's a wild card. Monday, you kind of go up and down the menu.
It's nice to have that one night.
Yeah, you have the burgers on special, and that's fine if you want a burger. But, I like to kind of go over the menu. But Thursday, join me Thursday, Giants 49ers, smoked brisket cheesesteak.
Smoked.
Won't be disappointed.
What was the game again? What'd you say? Thursday?
Giants-Niners.
Giants 9. Well,
I mean,
we'll see what
the
happens.
Giants had their Super Bowl on Sunday
Giants
there.
got back on. The Giants got back on track.
But a hell of a
that's
night.
good.
Yeah, it's...
That sounds real nice. We'll get to
Fergie's prostate was there. We shared a wine.
Yeah, so you had a red wine with Fergie's prostate.
Yeah, Merlot.
So
we
he
put our
came
pinkies
in
up
and
like-
suggested the wine, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll have one with
He
you."
usually has one, but it could be white, it could be red, it could be a Cab Sav.
Ooh.
It could be a
I think it's Cobb Sauv. I don't know.
whatever regional you're from. But an outstanding night, and thank you to the staff once again. Renee, killing it. Do
you only get wine when you're in like a social setting and somebody peer pressures you into it? Because this sounds like the whole thing with me and Glenn Suter, like after games. Now, Suits hasn't been on the red wine much this year, but last couple of years, it was always like he'll have a glass of red after a game, and then before I know it, I'm chugging out of the bottle 2 hours later.
This looks good, and it's it's a relaxed. Like we're kind of sitting. I'm like, you know what? Like he ordered his, and I said, you know what? Make it 2.
Yeah.
And there's the large glass. It was great. It was just a nice relaxation into the game, and almost like Deshaun Watson, getting a massage.
Yeah, well, Deshaun Watson. We'll talk about him in a second.
No happy ending for him, eh?
Last night, Fergie's prostate asking for a conch for Nick Chubb's knee. We can do that this morning. That was tough to see, man. That was really tough to watch. Nick Chubb.
When Joe Buck said we're not showing the replay, and then they showed the replay on the screen, and the Steelers fans, like a Browns player in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers fans were like,
because they came back and showed the wide shot replay again, and then he said,
really see.
We can't show the replay from the other side, and I've been there with significant injuries in the CFL, and right away, you're like, oh, can't show that again. Like, that's just absolutely
And
awful.
I don't mean to make light, but you did bust Dritty pretty good at our dunk contest years back at TSN 1260.
I know
and
exactly
I don't
what
even,
Chubb's going
I think those things, like, I don't know about the pain, but it just looks so weird that if I saw that happen to my own, like, I wouldn't be able to get that image. Like, it's very jarring.
It is weird with athletes when they suffer significant injury. Sometimes there's no reaction at all. It's like they're so, like, devastatingly.
Yeah,
exactly. They're just kind of in shock, and they're just. But considering what it looked like happened to Chubb's knee, he was kind of rolling around a little
Tried
bit.
to help him up, and
you would have think, absolutely losing his mind. So that was tough to see. It has been. I got a list right here. I mean, and I know I'm missing some people, but Chubb carted off last night. Saquon was hurt this week too. They're thinking that's going to be like maybe 3-4 weeks. Eckler didn't play this week. Jones didn't play this week. We're on week 2 of the season, and you're already. And I'm missing guys. I know there's other guys here on this list, except there's Amari Cooper, who everybody sat this weekend in fantasy, and then he rolls in like Willy Wonka, does a somersault. It's like, I'm gonna play. That was extremely frustrating. Not that he had a huge night by any stretch of the imagination, but
who did you mention? Chubb, Barkley, Montgomery, Williams, Edmonds.
Montgomery, that's right. Yeah, Montgomery too.
And then you had Dobbins, Jones, Eckler.
Dobbins. Like, it's
kind of got a bit of a running back issue here.
A third of the league's running backs, or at least a quarter of the league's starting running backs are already out. It's week 2. We just finished week 2.
And I did see Chubb also had, kind of looks like the same knee in college with Georgia and kind of the same way it bent. So I don't know. Yeah.
You know what this does?
A good guy, decent guy. And that's that kind of.
This sucks the big one.
It does.
That does. Definitely sucks the big one. All right, let's get to a couple of nasty chats. We are monitoring the text line, obviously, as well, 780-218-9999. If you win text of the day today, you are going to get a gift certificate to A&W, where they have coffees on for $1. Is this one of those $1 coffees?
Yeah, it was like, the tax,
105.
But so I paid like $1 for something, and it's delicious. I got black.
Just straight up black coffee. Ooh, look at that. This looks delicious.
It's the spot.
You can also get a latte for just $2. So find your nearest A&W. Hit up that A&W brew bar in any of the locations in Greater Edmonton. Lance is in and says, guys, seeing you guys in video loses the illusion of the conch. I don't think they ever owned a conch. Well, yeah, I'm looking at a conch right now. Do you want to go get all the conches? Yeah, we have, what is there, 5 conches in this place? There's let's set it up. You can blow into it.
Yeah, what illusion.
And
what illusion.
Yeah. I'm looking at right now.
Manny's been blowing it the whole time, and you just haven't seen him. He's off camera.
Within my line of vision, I can see 3 conch shells. There's the one here. I put 2 on the little cubbies on the far side. There's 2 more kicking around here on the desk.
Set one up. All
right, here we go. You don't think Lieutenant Eric blows a conch every single time? What do you think about this?
Takes a lot. I haven't done that for a while.
Hey, Eric. There, is that better? Is that better? Are you happy now, Lance?
Illusion.
Are you happy now? For everybody listening on the live stream, Eric was just pretending. I mean, blowing into the. Which conch is this? Which one is this? Who gave us this one?
I think this is from my father-in-law.
This was the first one. Yeah, that's.
This is North Battleford.
People come here.
The Sea of North Battleford.
It's like you're making a sacrifice to the gods. They're like, here's your conch.
Yeah, if you have one kicking around, by all means, bring it down. I think we got one with a candle wax.
Yeah, it's definitely, definitely what we need. We need more conches. We've got a lot of them. Barry the Cheater checking in this morning. Barry, what's up, buddy? Corey from Acme Meats. Good morning, gents. Have a great day. Come in and buy some meat. Yes, everybody go in and buy some meat at Acme Meats. We'll have I Got Beef tomorrow on the show. I almost wanted to get into I Got Beef today because I do have beef with something that I want to get to, but...
Well, you can do a little appetizer today.
Yeah,
main course tomorrow.
So. Corey, are there various types of meats we could eat while we do the segments?
Yeah, like we do
like
the
raw
jerk,
variety.
The jerk segment, the jerky. Who's the jerk segment? And you can name a jerk.
Who's the jerk?
Who's the jerk?
Yeah. Jerky.
Yeah.
And we just keep coming up with killer content.
I mean, you could have a segment for any type of cut, really.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's good. All right, let's lay out the show for you today. I know I want to dive back into that Browns Steelers game. Couple of highlights on a non-really big highlighty night in the National Football League. So we will get to that. Rest of the 6 o'clock hour is completely wide open. Lots to get to though. Blue Jackets had their presser yesterday. We'll get into that. Which is the best position battle, or what battle intrigues you the most in Oilers camp, which opens up tomorrow? Could it be the goaltenders? Could it be Connor Brown versus everybody else trying to take that top 6 spot? Is it Broberg, Desharnais? What say you on that one? Hit us up in the Nasty Chat or in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. The Elks are ranked where on the CFL Staff Power Rankings? We're going to get into that here as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour. Greg Wyshynski is going to pop by just after 7 o'clock from ESPN. That'll be presented by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for metal. We'll have that for you at 7 o'clock. Weekly confessions coming up as well. We will go there. What do you need to confess today after all of your fantasy football lineups?
What movie haven't we seen?
Oh, there's got to be something great today. So we'll get into that. Your cool bet hotline of the day. Yesterday, we hammered that Bouchard over 44.5, and the line moved by 8 points during the show. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Joaquin Gage, you're going to pop by, and then we'll get to the wrap around 8:45. And on the hangout today here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, it'll be Min Darwal, which I can't believe we got Minner in. This is great. Min and Doug McLean, who was one of my color analysts on University of Golden Bears football, and he'll be great to talk some Bears football today. So
they're heating up.
Yeah, Doug broadcasts everything. He's excellent, and hopefully, getting on the hangout, you'll be able to see how good a broadcaster Doug McLean is. So that'll be fun today. Maddie, Tommy, Doug McLean, and Min Darwal with you as well. So that should be good. Really like that. 780-218-9999. Guys, what about this for a meat segment? If someone says something stupid in an interview, well, that's just baloney.
And you cut them off mid-interview. The segment grinds to a halt, and we do read a liner of Bones chimes in, the apple of my ribeye. Maybe you kind of
that's
have
a good segment too.
Like to,
yeah. More meat segments.
Yeah.
Keep them rolling in here at 780-218-9999. I like...
What's at stake?
What's at stake?
I mean, we could do Meat Mondays where every single thing I got beef. We got, well, that's just baloney. What's at stake? That's good too. What Bones? Watch your flank. Yeah, and the last segment on Monday is the burnt end.
The burnt end.
Only on Mondays, it's the burnt end. Yeah, you're gonna.
God, that's too good. All right, so if you have any ideas for other meat segments, feel free to hit us up, and we'll get into that. As
what the inbox is for at this time of day.
Yeah,
let's be honest with ourselves.
What else are we doing here if we're not coming up with new meat-related segments for the brand new Nielsen Show on EdmontonSportsTalk.com? I mean, I feel like this is the place. This is the place to be. Oh, Dan Spence is in with a "Don't have a cow." Right from the.
That's just a good.
So that's a classic line.
The whole Monday that.
Yeah. All right, here's here's a couple of things I want to hit on the 6 o'clock hour. Should Cleveland fans be extremely worried about Deshaun Watson? Like, outside of everything else that Deshaun Watson has had going on, I'm not sure this dude can really play football much anymore.
He's got to learn to keep his hands, like the face masking. It was a lot. And with Chubb exiting the game in the time he did, you could argue, well, maybe it would look a little better on Deshaun and you're running with him. But the other
guy came in and ran for over 100 yards.
They had some good production there from the backup. So, yeah, I mean, he was kind of left out there to dry, so to speak, and it was fairly uninspiring. I mean, it was just, you're looking at a team in the Steelers who really should have lost that game, right? But they win it because they're the Steelers. They're at home, and the pick six. Like, what a way to start a game.
That's a tough way to start.
Just so it's so Cleveland Brownie, and I can't really. I mean, I don't know any hardcore Browns fans myself, but this must just be a reoccurring nightmare where you have a guy like this who does possess some talent, but it just seems like he cannot put it together. And the turnovers again, the untimely, the face mask. Like, I just don't be taking those penalties either. Man. Like,
bad looks.
Terrible.
Bad looks.
But that's Browns football.
Yeah. Corey says yes. I can hook you up with some on-air meats. Well, that's good. VR Montenegro says, why are you so chicken? That's a good meat segment. And this one's good. Big Tuna's in. It says, who you porking?
Gasola,
who's
special guest
porking
every
who?
year,
And
yeah.
it's a Kelsey Taylor Swift segment. That might be something we could go to. All right, let's get to a sports update. We'll come back. Just how good are your Edmonton Elks? We'll get into that coming up here right away.
Monday night doubleheader, and TJ Watt with a scoop and score for the go-ahead touchdown as the Steelers would beat the Browns 26-22. Browns running back Nick Chubb leaving early in the game due to a left knee injury. He would not return as his season is in doubt as well. Earlier in the evening, the Saints improving to 2-0 for the first time in 10 years. They defeat the Panthers down in Carolina 20-17. You can join me at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road. Thursday, as the Giants take on the 49ers. We'll have specials throughout the evening. Your chance to enter into a draw for a trip for two to LA to see the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. On the diamond, the Mariners shut out Oakland 5-0. Rangers drop one to Boston 4-2. Means Toronto holds a one-game lead on both Texas and Seattle for the second wild-card spot. Jays visit the Yankees to kick off a three-game set tonight. Yusei Kikuchi starts for Toronto up against Clark Schmidt. And the Oilers wrapping up the Young Stars tournament out in Penticton yesterday afternoon with a 5-2 loss to the Canucks. Preseason schedule begins on Sunday against the Jets.
Shop. We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week one, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly, and I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.26 on a Tuesday morning. Thank you very much for being here. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you once again. We are in our Popeyes, Louisiana kitchen studios. Popeyes, they got the sweet and spicy wings. Now available, sweet and spicy wings. Crispy breaded wings with a spicy ghost pepper seasoning. Tossed with a sweet chili sauce. They come in 6-piece or 12-piece. And yesterday in the mail, a couple of preloaded Popeyes cards arrived. So we're gonna have some Popeyes kicking around the office, which is always a good thing. That gets us very excited.
They're gonna know our middle names when they have that new location down on
pretty
170
much.
here.
Yeah.
Hey, like it's
speaking of middle names, do you guys know Tommy's middle name?
Lawrence.
Is it Lawrence?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Well, it starts with an L.
No,
that's really weird.
TLG.
You guessed Lawrence.
No,
so I don't know what it is, but I kind of assumed, since the way he's been dealing with himself here, like the L stands for late. That's the only thing I can think of. What else would the L stand for?
Tommy Late.
Yeah, I saw some of the paperwork he filled out the other day. I said, "Oh, Tommy's middle initial is L." I wonder what that is.
So he just put the L. He didn't actually write out the.
Yeah, just put the L. But like Larry, I'm trying to what other men's names start with an L?
Outside of Larry and Lawrence, there's really.
I think it's probably Lawrence. I would guess it's probably Lawrence.
It's one of the two.
Right? Tommy Lawrence Gazzola. I think that must be.
Are there any other names? I know it's early. I can't really.
I really hope his middle name is Larry, though. He'll be dubbed as Larry Gazzola around here for sure.
Henceforth, I think it's. Yeah.
I think that would be. I think that would be good. Joe says Thomas Lorenzo Gazzola. That would change.
Now
things.
we're talking.
That would change things. Lorenzo.
Lucius.
Lucius is an interesting one. I like that as well. All right, if you would like to guess Tommy, now by the time he gets here today, we should hopefully still be on the air. And we'll figure out exactly what his. This
is exciting. He'll confess his middle name to us.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Fingers crossed. We'll have to see how that one works out. 780-218-9999. We were the inbox gets going pretty quick here on a Tuesday morning. We imagine the inbox and the nasty chat the morning after an Oilers game. Like, it's gonna be. Oh yeah. Like, I can't wait for the first nasty chat after like a controversial loss where somebody did, like it could get vicious.
Even if you don't want to join in now, like you can just lurk around there. You can creep and you can watch the madness in that nasty chat. That's going to be something.
Guys, I feel it in my loins. A sports betting segment. That's in from Red as we continue to look for segments named around meat. So yeah, keep those rolling in. Bones is saying LeBron. Tommy LeBron. If Tommy's middle name was LeBron and he never told me, I would be devastated.
LeBron.
Devastated.
Tommy LeBron. It really goes off the tongue nice.
Just Tommy LeGazzola. it's just Lloyd. Oh, Lloyd would be a good one.
Okay.
Luigi, Linguini, Luciano, Lenny, Lionel.
Lionel's a strong name. I like that one.
Yeah.
What about Leonard?
Leonardo?
Yeah. It's Italian, yeah.
Anyway, lots of boys, his name is T-Biscuit, and the T stands for time clock. All right. There's lots of good suggestions. I guess we'll find out. Does anybody watching or listening actually know Tommy well enough? Somebody might. Does anybody know Tommy well enough to actually reveal his middle name to him?
It won't be any of the ones we've discussed. Like,
I'm trying to think, what could it be outside of the ones we've already discussed?
Take us all off guard. Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah. Greg in the Grove says, hey, guys, when someone has a hot take, I would follow it up with, well, rub my meat and call me a brisket.
Hot dog,
right, Yeah. Let's keep moving. Oh, Leonidas. That would be
Leonidas,
awesome.
Very strong. Hey, Levi.
Thomas Leonidas Gazzola. God, that would be good.
Now people are combining LeBron into his last name, LeBronzola.
LeBronzola. That's actually really good.
Let's just go with that.
Tommy LeBronzola. Yeah. That could be in the mix for text of the day. Text of the day gets hooked up with the gift certificate to A&W, and you can use to get 20 coffees for $1 if you would like. It's up to you how you use your gift certificates that you win right here on the Nielson Show. Okay, so just how good are the Edmonton Elks? I want to get this. It was a late night once again. I did the Pit Stop Pals. You can find it on our YouTube channel here, and the latest episode of Pit Stop Pals on the podcast dropped last night. It was good. Gage and I went for like 30 minutes. We had so much F1 to discuss after an actually a thrilling race. It was really nice. So then late night, it was around 11 o'clock, and I'm perusing X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I see the latest CFL staff, CFL power rankings. And, nothing out of the sorts. Number 1, Toronto, 1-loss team. Almost a 2-loss team, but 1-loss team. Winnipeg Blue Bombers,
defending
champs,
dynasty type thing. Yeah.
BC Lions, certainly a team from a win-loss perspective, deserves to be in 3. Also a team that I think when they play their best football can hang right in there with Toronto and Winnipeg. And then what should my wondering eyes should appear? Is that the Christmas thing? The Edmonton Elks, currently number 4 on the CFL power rankings. Is that? I mean, they've won 4 of 5. Are they the 4th? But now this doesn't mean they're going to make the playoffs because they completely wasted the first half of the season, and we will never, ever, ever understand why Chris Jones waited this long to get to Trey Ford and waited this long. To me, it was always a McAdoo problem anyway, but whatever. They waited too long to make these changes. Now they're attempting to save their season. Highly unlikely that they'll be able to sneak into the postseason, but stranger things have happened. We just watched Ottawa blow a 21, 22-point lead with 2.5 minutes left. So crazy things can happen in the Canadian Football League. But are the Edmonton Elks the 4th best team in the CFL right now? Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, you've tiered it nice, and that's kind of those 3 at the top. Argos, obviously, you get the Bombers in there, then BC kind of rounding up the 3, so that's good. And then you kind of got the rest, and to determine the rest and who sits atop that heap, yeah, I guess you got to go with the hot hand, right? And you mentioned 4 of 5. The game against Winnipeg it started there too, so you can argue that they've been playing good ball for some time. I guess you look around and you say, well, if not them, then who? And I look at Hamilton right now, but
I think Hamilton came in 7th on this thing.
Yeah, and I don't get that either.
That didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Again, this isn't like like a power ranking to me would just be like, what is it today? And what I've seen with the Tiger Cats, Milanovic and Powell and all that coming together is a team which started off, losing Bo Levi Mitchell, season ending, all this stuff, and now they're competing for a home playoff spot. So kind of with that story behind them, I would maybe have them jostling with position. But yeah, I mean, look, the Riders are kind of not trending in the right direction. The Stampeders, I don't even know what they are. I mean, they can still maybe put it together on a certain day, but you don't really see them as too much of a threat. And you go around. I mean, the Red Blacks are done. Alouettes, I guess maybe you could argue that. But
I'd have the Ticats ahead of the Alouettes. I mean, just for everybody listening right now.
Lost 4 straight.
This is the Week 16 power rank. Man, Week 16 already. This is nuts. This season is flying by.
Happy playoffs, Matty.
Week 16 power rankings. Argos, Bombers, Lions, Elks, Alouettes, Riders, Ticats, Stampeders, and Red Blacks. This is from the CFL.ca staff. This is like their staff power rankings. I would have Hamilton, with the way they're playing right now, ahead of Montreal.
But behind Edmonton.
Yeah. I think I'd leave the Riders where they. I'd probably flip Montreal and Hamilton and kind of leave it at that for now.
Riders, Stamps, Red Blacks.
Riders, Stamps, Red Blacks. You would have the Riders below the Alouettes?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I think the Riders are a better team than Montreal. But Montreal just played Toronto really tough.
Montreal whooped the Riders out. Like they dismantled them a few weeks back. It's very weird. But you get the top tier. All the rest, I mean, they can... It's a mix-up out down there. Anybody can really beat anybody on any given day. But in terms of power rankings, I mean, you kind of got to go with the Elks. They are the...
This is just this should be exciting for Edmonton Elks fans to see Edmonton after 6 weeks since the OC and quarterback change to have put themselves at the top of that second tier of CFL teams right now, considering they were literally the laughing stock of the league for the last 2-3 years.
And we have been carrying water for them in a way. We didn't have to. No, but because they've been doing some good things off the field. We've said, the past couple seasons, get ready. Cornelius might take a turn. And they have done good things on their roster on paper. But now you're actually seeing it coming together on the field. And that's the exciting part. We can sit here, you can say, they might turn a corner. And, if you're bringing all these guys in and this could happen. Like last year, Dylan Mitchell and Kevin Brown. Like you had a good feeling ending that season, right? With the emergence of those guys. And you were saying, Cornelius will turn a corner. And that never happened. But now you can really you can see it live. This is what you're going to get moving forward. So that's the encouraging part. It's actually something you can reach out and touch, as opposed to something you can prognosticate and say, if Cornelius works things out, and if this happens and if that happens, you're seeing it. This is it.
The problem is in the first half of the season, there's so many what ifs. You're sitting here going, man, and it was Steve on Twitter last night when I tweeted this out. He came back to me and said, if McAdoo had let Cornelius, a 6'6", 240-pound quarterback, carry the ball from the 1 yard line in game one instead of a 180-pounder, the Elks are in third place in the West right now.
There's still a place for Cornelius, and that's the place.
Actually,
that's the place.
Dare I say, Cornelius has actually been extremely good at his new job.
Yes,
he's thrown for a touchdown pass in short yardage. He pretty much gets the job done every single time.
He's a good compliment to what Trey Ford brings, I think. It's nice to have two. You need two quarterbacks in this league, at least.
He has touchdowns in his last 5 games, 4 of them on his own into the end zone, and then the touchdown pass in this last game. So he has, now he's going to be paid too much to be that guy, but he's accepted his new role and executed it extremely well. Just for Edmonton to be where they are now in these power rankings next year, I mean, one thing certainly has to happen, and that is number 2, Trey Ford needs to stay healthy. And I think when you have a quarterback that plays the way he does, and he's so damn quick, the guys just can't get to the edge on this guy. He gets around him every single time. He's insane. He's a cheat code when it comes to his athleticism. But every time he takes off, I do, like we saw him get hurt last season on a run where he was just sort of tackled from behind. It wasn't even like a vicious, dirty play.
Nathan Rourke as well, right? I mean, you see this greatness and you see glimpses of this nice, exciting thing, and then boom, you take it out on the gravel road and it's done. And that sucks. It sucks for the league because in a 9-team league, that's kind of like we mentioned the running backs in the NFL. I mean, you can lose 10 to 15 running backs and still have a league going on and people are entertained and everything. But you're right, a Canadian quarterback like this now, the Elks moving forward. I mean, protect the guy, right? Like, dial up offenses, dial up a game plan to build an offensive line that really insulates
everything you have. You invest into that offensive line.
Right into there, yeah.
You got to look after this guy, and fingers crossed that he can stay healthy, not just for Edmonton, but for the Canadian Football League in general. To have a Canadian quarterback doing what he's doing right now for this team, it's massive. And it was after that last game again. We're sitting there after, and Sue says to me, he goes, get this guy on every promotional thing you possibly can, right? Like have Trey Ford on every billboard in this city for the next 7-8 months.
And just a note on Cornelius, and I know he's getting paid money, but really not a peep. No sour, nothing of this. He's new role, doing it or whatever. There's none of the Kai Loxley stuff that we saw earlier in the season where you're kind of,
pouting down the sideline.
You don't need that stuff. So they've been a team throughout this whole thing. As much as some people have been jumping off the boat or whatever, I mean, the room's pretty cohesive. Faithful giving the game ball to Jones. Like they're all in. And, whether it's Cornelius doing a backup role in short yardage and Trey Ford taking the ball and running with it, you're seeing good things with the team, aside from the record.
What say you? Hit us up in the nasty chat or, of course, in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Are the Edmonton Elks for real right now? Brandon on the nasty chat. Good morning, nasties. From the original Data Muncher. I'm going to conch you. But I'll also say, ballsy move to claim to be the original Data Muncher. Like the first person ever to listen to the show online, like the old show online?
Prove it. Like I'd like to see the receipt.
Bingo. Prove that. How do you prove that? That's tough.
That's the question.
Let's get to a sports update. When we come back, more of your text messages. What is the biggest clickbait in all of sports? I think I have the answer. We're going to get to that coming up here before 7 o'clock as well. Here we go with an update from Lieutenant Eric.
Monday night doubleheader in the National Football League saw the Browns fall in Pittsburgh 26-22 to the Steelers, not only losing the game, but also losing running back Nick Chubb. He would leave early due to a left knee injury and would not return as his season is in doubt. Earlier in the evening, the Saints, they improved to 2-0 for the first time in a decade with a 2017 win over Carolina. You can join me every Monday and Thursday night at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road. Join me Thursdays as the Giants take on the 49ers and your chance to enter into a draw for a trip for two to LA to see the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. Oilers wrapping up the Young Stars tournament out in Penticton yesterday afternoon with a 5-2 loss to the Canucks. Puck drop on the Oilers' preseason schedule is Sunday against the Jets. On the diamond, Seattle shutting out Oakland 5-0. Texas drop one to Boston 4-2. Toronto holding a one-game lead on both Texas and Seattle for that second wildcard spot. Entering today's play, the Jays, they're in New York to kick off a 3-game set tonight with the Yankees. Yusei Kikuchi will start for Toronto up against Clark Schmidt for the Pinstripes.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielson and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Tuesday morning with the Nielsen Show, 6:46. Thank you very much for being here. Greg Wyshynski coming up just after 7 o'clock today with his thoughts and hot takes on the Columbus Blue Jackets situation, and Joaquin Gage around 8:25 today as well. We'll dive into Campbell v. Skinner. Ooh, it's going to be exciting. Training camp is just around the corner.
Choose your fighter.
Right?
Like kind of a...
Did I see... Is there a new Mortal Kombat game coming out?
Yeah, something like that. The commercial's wild.
Yeah, the commercial looks insane.
I thought it was actually a real, like, we're all getting ready to fight. Like, I thought it was the end of days.
That was it. That was it. It was on now. Marshall was watching it. And he's like, Daddy, what's this?
Oh, boy.
And I looked at him and I said, get over here! And I pulled him over, and it was amazing.
That's a world you're going to enjoy, teaching him.
Man. So anyway, I'm pretty sure I saw a commercial for Mortal Kombat, and it said 1. Like, they're totally relaunching.
That's about time.
I've
had enough of Tekken.
Yeah, there's only so much time you can spend playing other things than Mortal Kombat, which I always was very much pro. I liked Mortal Kombat better than like Street Fighter.
I was Street Fighter.
You were Street Fighter guy.
Family, Street Fighter household. Yeah, I loved Street
Maddie, break this tie. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Ah, my man. Hey, if you want to hit us up.
Very convincingly there, Maddie.
Were you on?
Well, they're both really good.
Yeah.
So like it was.
They were good.
It was tough to choose, but Mortal Kombat.
Depending on your mood.
Mortal Kombat on the Sega.
On the Sega.
Sega Genesis, baby.
Sega Genesis. VR Montenegro says Tekken was garbage. How about this? Darren says, good morning, nasties. Zombie Nation tuning in from the top of the dome of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City.
Okay. Well, let's put it on the map.
Is that true? Is that true? Are you messing with us? It would be, that'd be a good one to put on the map, though.
We need that map.
We need a world map and a bunch of those thin little pins. And then we hit that up there. That would be excellent. Let's see here. One more from the Nasty Chat. Wheel says, boys, the Elks are smoking hot. Can I get a conch? I made fajitas, and they were fantastic. And I used sirloin steak. Yummy! You blowing that conch while we do the conch is my favorite thing from the show today. Outside of the guy who suggested Tommy's middle name that starts with an L is Tommy La Huge Wiener Gazzola. That works
We're
out.
here. It's a 6 o'clock hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read the Tommy Lee? Tommy Lee sounds so good. If it's Tommy Lee, that's going to be great. Tommy Lee Gazzola?
Yeah.
You'd have to call him Tommy Lee moving forward.
There's no way he could have kept that.
No, because it's such a nice Tommy Lee.
Yeah, there's no way he could have kept that from us.
Rocker.
That would have to be out there. All right, so I talked about it a little bit earlier. In fact, it was kind of clickbaity in itself. I said, what's the biggest clickbait target in all of sports? And it got me again last night. It sucked me in again last night. And there's a lot of these things. You'll see it on Twitter or X. You'll see it on like a website, a sports station website, all that type of stuff. And you're like, I know that like nothing's gonna come of this, but I gotta click on it anyway. It's like when somebody goes, "Ooh, line combinations." Click. It's just it's an automatic. For me, the thing that got to me last night, and it gets to me every single time, and it absolutely drives me insane because nothing ever happens. But the White Sox and Nationals got me again last night.
The White Sox and Nationals got you.
The White Sox and Nationals got me again last night because the headline was "Dugouts clear in Major League Baseball."
Ooh, I was clicking on that.
Oh my God. Dugouts clear.
Sign me up.
Oh, are the bullpens coming? Are the bullpens coming in late after everything's calmed down? Like, imagine being the bullpen guy running into a fight. It's all already over. Nobody cares you're even here. You should have just stayed out in the pen. It's a waste of time. But again, last night, I clicked on it. I let the two ads, the pre-roll ads
you watched
roll.
all the ads.
I watched the pre-roll ads, and I'm like, somebody better punch somebody in the face right now. And instead, a guy hit a home run in a blowout and was trotting it a little bit. So Clevenger said some words to him. He turns like a pit bull. He's like, "Oh, you want to do this?" Okay. And then everybody waits for everybody else to get in between you. And then both teams come out. They say some words, and they go back to their dugouts, and baseball continues. I need to stop. This could be a confession for me a little bit later on. I guess an early confession today. But I need to stop clicking on dugouts empty, benches clear, brawls in baseball because it's the worst. Nothing ever happens.
Was it like a must see or can't miss? Like did you
probably
did you latch onto one of those phrases? Is that kind of what it all
maybe I'm a sucker for a phrase. Maybe it comes on me, but
I'm seeing up now. White Sox Nationals benches clear after Clevenger Smith exchange words. Oh. That's not really like I'm just. But the picture. It looks like they've
How's
cleared.
that picture look?
The picture looks like they're about to throw down, like it's a Mortal Kombat or something like this.
The picture looks like they're about to throw a spear out of their hand into the other person's chest and pull them across them and punch them in the face.
Look at this. Leafs ice chips. Reeves already making his voice heard. See, I can't help but click on this. Oh, boy. What am I going to see here? Ooh.
Odds are I'm not going to click on that one.
Wow.
But I have to stop getting sucked in. So I guess for me, what's that clickbait for all of you when it comes to sports? Like, what's the one thing? Like, is there a soccer thing that you have to click on every single time, even though you know? Like,
it's during, and if you're following soccer, you know this is the transfer window. When it's open, it gets really, really crazy online, and rumors are flying around everywhere. But you see, like, actually, I'm sure it's with the Oilers too. Whenever something important, like an important statement to trade, like there's always the team will use one picture. There's always that one picture the team will use to put out a club statement or something very important. Coaching gets fired or something, or hired or whatever it is. But there's always that one picture that you know when they put out that picture, it's getting real. But transfer season, like it's silly season, and people are baiting you and goading you into all these rumors and stuff. So you can't help when you're on the ride. You can't help but just to go down those crevices and creeks, but. It can lead you to frustration because at the end of the day, you don't really find out anything more.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You'll click on an article. Well, they might sign this player. He'd look pretty good if they do. They probably won't, but and then you go away and you haven't learned anything and nothing is. But you've clicked on all of these links and watched all these ads.
Mission accomplished, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you have to know only 1 in 20 baseball fights are any good. And that comes into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. I'm not even sure it's that number. Like, I think it's more
You're
like
going
one.
less?
I'm going like
really?
1 in every 30 to 40 bench clearing incidents actually ends up being something that you would remember for the rest of the season.
But you're like heavyweight tilts. I think baseball fights sometimes can be just like you get a little bit of a slap fest going on or something like that. Like those can be entertaining and funny in their own, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the Pedro Martinez thing, but like baseball players don't know really how to flick. They're fighting, and it's kind of funny.
Like name like 5 baseball brawls from the last 20 years. Pedro throws down old guy from Yankees.
But that wasn't like a fight in a sense. It was kind of a movement, right?
Yeah.
Like
that was funny.
like it's more baseball violence, not necessarily like heavyweight fights, bench clearing brawls, but just one-on-one type of stuff.
Guys, I always click on players' swag or fit posts to see what they're wearing. Yeah, I guess. Oh, that's from Jasmine. So Jasmine wants to see what they're wearing. Like,
fair enough, yeah.
Every single time. Now, Jasmine, I would ask you, if usually it delivers, then really it's not like clickbait. It's like, this
from
is really
the
good.
athlete's account, like
Yeah.
you're kind of, well, yeah.
Like I just wonder, like if you click on it and go, oh man, this guy's dressed like an idiot. Then do you get frustrated? You click on it again, right? It's
must see.
Yeah, that's we should every single tweet we put out every morning, like plugging the YouTube show, must see. Eric blows conch between 6 and 7 a.m.
No, just Eric blows ... That's your clickbait, right? We don't need to include the details. You have to click on it to find out what's happening.
Yeah, well,
what am I blowing?
That's what you're doing. It's all about impressions and it's all about views. Somebody hit us up in the inbox and said, hey, guys, I think you know what you need to play for Nick Chubb this morning. Dolphins mating.
Too soon.
Dolphins mating. Nick Chubb needs to get on that Aaron Rodgers plan and heal up here quickly. Out for the entire season. Just a horrible way to have Monday Night Football go down. And that's one of those ones that's so bad you don't even care about your fantasy team. Usually you see a guy get banged up, like Saquon Barkley, for example.
Yeah.
Saquon's, what's he going to be out 3 weeks? Saquon's always out 3 weeks. Saquon is pretty much perennially out 3 weeks.
Yeah, that didn't surprise anybody.
No, that one didn't surprise him. But you see the Nick Chubb thing, and even to have him in your fantasy team, you're like, that's just brutal for him.
Will Lindholm stay or be dealt out of Calgary?
What? Click it! Click it! That's got to be amazing stuff. That's pretty good, isn't it? Real nice. All right, keep the text message rolling. Here's a question we're going to get to work our way into hour number 2. What's the best position battle in Oilers camp this year? There's not many of them. Don't say first line versus second line center.
Can I click on that?
That's clickbait.
Wow, that's your
click on that. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, what was I say? But there is a few. So what position battle, what battle in Oilers camp this year intrigues you the most? 780-218-9999. And I think it's always easy to say the goaltending. Is there something else besides the goaltending that you could look at this year?
Power play.
No. PP2 doesn't even get time in the preseason.
But we could construct like a little, we could kind of have
I could see the Oilers in the preseason dressing their 18 guys. McDavid and Draisaitl literally do not play in the game, but they still go out on PP1. That's it. They only go out on power play 1. That's
stay
it.
a little sharp,
You got to get your reps.
Yeah.
You got to get your reps in. So 780-218-9999, and we will get to we'll get to more of your text messages on this as we work our way. This is a good one. I don't know if this comes in from. This is interesting.
We've gotten a picture from the Vatican.
What?
Somebody sent in their.
That would be the guy from the nasty chat there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's picture proof. We'll print it out and post it up.
Oh, that's awesome. Put it up on the wall.
Gotta get that map
from the Vatican. That's great. Tails in the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. Hockey trade rumors on Facebook. Every single time.
No, anything when it comes to player movement, right? Off-season deals, free agency, yada yada.
Yeah, that's not an easy one. All right, coming up, Greg Wyshynski is going to pop by from ESPN. We'll get his thoughts on how the Columbus Blue Jackets handled everything. We'll give you some of our thoughts on that as well. We'll get some more of your answers on some of these battles coming up in Oilers camp. There's not a lot of them, but there are some kind of intriguing ones, so we'll get into that a little bit. And weekly confessions around 7:45 today. Who did you leave on your bench in fantasy football? Who have you already dropped that you're regretting? And life confessions. What do you need to confess to in life so you can get on with your week, right? The last thing you want to do is kind of be held up being like, oh, I got to tell somebody. Well, you tell us at 780-218-9999. We will get into that. Nasty chat cruising along as well. Greg Wyshynski and some hockey talk on the way when we return here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagner coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagner involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch. Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Welcome back to the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric with you. We got weekly confessions coming up around 7:45. Former Edmonton Oiler Joaquin Gage, he's a beauty lister. He'll be by around 8:25 today, and then the hangout right after us from 9 until 11 today. Min Darwal is going to be by, and Doug McLean will be joining Tommy and Matthew Iwanek as well. If you are listening to the show right now, you can text us anytime. The Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the Nasty Chat on YouTube as well. Tell your friends about the show as we continue to promote the new project that we've launched here with EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and we've got lots to get to around the world of the National Hockey League as well. Greg Wyshynski is brought to you by Metal Supermarkets, a convenience store for metal, any metal, cut to size, ready, fast, when you need it. We'll get to that a little bit more coming up. Wyshynski, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Terrible. My coffee maker broke.
Oh,
no. None of the buttons work. Yeah, I know. It's this may be my Joker origin story. Like, this is like some serious stuff we're dealing with here. But the problem is that it's new. Like, I said to my wife, I'm like, hey, there's a 3-year warranty on it. She's like, we've had it for 3 months. So I'm very perturbed. As you know, as a writer, coffee is my lifeblood. So luckily we do have a backup. We have a little espresso machine that I'm currently imbibing right now. But the coffee maker situation here, I mean, look, I don't throw around the word crisis too often, but I think we might be in crisis mode right now.
Well, Dusty knows all about that,
no,
don't you, Dusty?
No. I was going to say, this is really funny that you brought this up, because the running bit on our show here is that I'm going to try coffee for the first time because I don't drink coffee. I'm like one of the few morning people who don't drink coffee. Eric here, you drink coffee every single day.
I need it. Much like Greg, I would assume. Yeah, it's kind of fueling you.
Yeah. So I get the sense of why it's a disaster for you, though. Yeah.
You've been doing morning radio for a long time, so I can only assume that the problem is the flavor of the coffee would conflict with the flavor of the cocaine. Is that what I'm...
Greg,
worlds colliding. Yeah.
You're not supposed to tell everybody how I have my energy first thing in the morning, man. You're killing me here. You're killing me. That's so you have a high-end coffee maker, though, hey? Like, is it really one of those? Like, is this a
latte guy?
Yeah, is this a layaway plan? Like, are you paying for it over 6 months or what?
Well, no, it is a good one. No, rest assured. But again, like, the more I think about it, the more I think about how, like, I'm looking at it right now, 5 buttons that are on it, I use one, which is just make coffee. It's just like, it's got. I mean, maybe it's my own fault for trying to shoot for the moon here with this coffee maker, but like, I don't know. I pressed all the buttons many times and unplugged it and replugged it in and stuff, and it didn't work. So I don't know. I'll have to have an enlightening phone call with customer service later today, which of course is an activity that should require a nice cup of coffee. Alas.
I was gonna tell you to unplug it and plug it back in. So you've already done that. So I have no more advice.
Yeah, I blew. I blew in the cartridge.
Yeah.
I banged it a few times. No avail. But this is my place.
Hey, were you Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter guy?
I was a Mortal Kombat guy.
Okay.
Street Fighter was fun, and I think, truth be told, probably, like, I like some of the characters in Street Fighter better design wise than the characters in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was like the same body type over and over again, but now he's wearing a blue mask and now he's wearing a yellow mask. But I was much more of a Mortal Kombat guy, not only in gameplay, because I could do the scorpion harpoon throw, pretty well. But also in lore, like the idea of it being kind of a take on like Enter the Dragon, except like they're all like ninjas and monsters and stuff. I thought it was a really fun thing.
Greg Wyshynski with us on the show this morning from Metal Supermarkets. We got to start with the Columbus Blue Jackets yesterday, Greg. We obviously know that they regret their decision to hire Mike Babcock. But how do you think yesterday looked for the organization? How do you think yesterday looked for Davidson and Kekalainen?
Well, we know they regret it, but my favorite moment of the entire press conference, somebody had the insight to ask John Davidson if the critics who said maybe don't hire Mike Babcock were right. And do you have any message for them? And JD said, maybe they were right. I'm like, maybe he's doing a lot of work here, man. You just lost the coach before he even like stepped onto the ice for training camp due to something he did off the ice that we all said was a possibility when you hired this guy. So, look, it's a disaster for them. It's a disaster for Jarmo. It's a disaster for JD. The message that the ownership group put out yesterday was very much in the lane of, we can't fire these guys now because it would be too disruptive to the season. But I also thought that the ownership group left the lane open, and JD did the same thing yesterday of saying, if they find on-ice success, maybe they can save their jobs. It seemed that both the ownership group and the management group were saying the same thing, which is that despite this absolute debacle, if the team is competitive or makes the playoffs, it may be something that actually does kind of save their jobs. So huge embarrassment. I thought that they didn't exactly acquit themselves well insofar as explaining what Babcock did or what led to his resignation. Maybe they can't legally, who's to say, but it's just a terrible look for the organization top to bottom.
Do you think they have the roster that saves their jobs for them? Do you think Columbus is a team that overcomes this and puts together a pretty good year?
It's a talented team. I mean, no doubt. I mean, not only the insertion of younger talent like Fantilli and, the continued maturation of a guy like Kent Johnson and obviously like having Gaudreau and Laine in the lineup and, Werenski coming back and hopefully playing a fuller season. I don't think you can ever say a full season with Zach, but a fuller season is certainly going to benefit them. I think he's one of the maybe in the top 10 best defensemen in the league. And if there was one thing I was curious about with regard to Babcock coaching this team, it was how Werenski might thrive under him. I mean, if there's one thing we know about Babcock is that the linchpin of everything he does is having a solid stud defenseman back there. So I was interested to see how that was going to play out. But, is the roster going to be good enough to be better than they were last year? I think so. I also think Pascal Vincent is a really good coach who's deserved his shot behind the bench for a really long time. And, I thought he asked me yesterday about what the locker room's like in Columbus right now. I mean, you had veteran players like Boone Jenner and Johnny Gaudreau kind of stepping up and saying what Babcock did was no big deal. It's pretty clear from my conversations with people and other reports that it's the younger players that had a real problem with Babcock and his tactics. If there's a schism in the locker room, I think that they really lucked out in getting a guy like Vincent to be their head coach because I think that he's somebody who knows the roster. They know him. He's really well liked. And there's a chance that he might be the perfect guy to try to bring this whole thing back together after it's sort of fallen apart before training camp.
Greg, John Davidson, president, also saying yesterday during that Avail ownership focused on on-ice results. We've kind of discussed that. The Mike Babcock debacle, you tweeted out, he calls it a big bump in the road. They've had a lot of bumps in the road in Columbus with Davidson and Yarmo. Is this the last bump? Do you see, the new coach, Vincent, is this the end of the bumps in the road, or is this just another bump in a long road in Columbus?
Well, I talked to somebody around the team recently who kind of framed it like this. Like, the ownership group is very hands-off. And you can tell that because they've had the same general manager since 2013, right? It is, and they've only won one playoff series. And if you had those kinds of results in another market, chances are you'd probably have a new general manager by now. But Vincent's the fourth coach that Kekalainen has hired, including Babcock. He's only signed through this season and next season. So you kind of get the sense of this might be the end of the line for him if this team can't, have upward mobility up the standings. I think the on-ice results this season are going to be key. It may be time for regime change. And again, above all else, like I said, it's a sort of laissez-faire ownership group. But when you have a gigantic scandal that requires the investigation of the National Hockey League Players Association and your high-profile coach that you're paying, I think, $4 million a year to, doesn't even make it to training camp. I mean, that's going to get the attention of the people that you're really trying to not have pay attention to the team.
Greg Wyshynski with us here on the Nielsen Show this morning. We had a text come in from one of our listeners, John, and he wants us to ask you about the impact, and I know you talked about the room a little bit, but considering Jenner's statements, last week, and then, some of the younger guys who felt intimidated by Babcock and didn't like the way he handled them, how do you think this impacts the leaders' relationship with some of these young guys who are obviously extremely important to the future of the franchise?
It's a really great question, and I think it speaks to what I think is the biggest issue in this whole debacle from an NHL perspective, which is who do players feel comfortable talking to? Obviously, Biz and the Chicklets podcast are the ones that put this news out into the world. And it was clear that, whoever gave them the information didn't feel comfortable expressing their dismay about it to Boone Jenner, to Jarmo Kekalainen, to the NHLPA, to what I assume is still a thriving NHL whistleblower hotline that they issued 2 years ago that didn't exactly serve its function in this case. So again, like, you know, I know there's been a lot written about like player empowerment and how good it is that they have these outlets that aren't official channels to put themselves out there and affect change. And I think that's great, but I'm more focused on the systems that don't work. Like, you have a captain for a reason. You have an agent for a reason. You have a players association for a reason. And if you feel uncomfortable to the point where, you know, clearly whatever was going on was enough where the PA in their investigation took it to the league, and then they both took it to Columbus, and then Columbus is like, we can't have this guy coach the team. Like, it's pretty serious. And if players don't feel comfortable enough going through official channels when something like this goes down, then the system is really, really broken beyond repair. Like, we really need to reevaluate all of these things that are in place, because ultimately they're in place to prevent coaching abuse and prevent, you know, abuse of power and all of these things, preventing another Bill Peters situation, for example. And clearly they're not working right now. And because players are seeking out alternate means to get the word out about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Before we let you go, let's just flip over here with training camps opening up. Which team in the West kind of intrigues you the most heading into training camp in the preseason this year? Is there one that really jumps out for you?
Yeah, it's Vancouver. Like, I can't get a handle on what they're going to end up being. This is going to be first full training camp, first full season for Rick Tocchet behind the bench. This is going to be Thatcher Demko back between the pipes after having a injury-plagued season last year. This is going to be a revamped blue line where they've got, you know, Carson Soucy from the Kraken and Ian Cole back there now. So it's going to be a little bit better than it was last year. And then we know what they have up front. I mean, with Pettersson and Miller and all those guys. So, I mean, they're a team that theoretically should probably be a wild card team this year. Maybe creep into a top 3 spot in the Pacific, or you know, they won't. It's not the first time where we thought the Canucks looked pretty good on paper, and then things, for whatever reason, fell apart. But they're a real X factor, I think, in the West right now. I don't quite think they're not as good as Edmonton. They're not as good as LA. If we assume the Kraken are the Kraken again, they're probably not as good as them. So it might be wild card time for them. But that being said, I mean, I think that all things point to them being a contender for one this season.
Before I let you go, man, Alan on our YouTube chat this morning, the nasty chat as we call it, says, my 6-month-old coffee maker quit on Monday. I phoned customer service and they are sending me a new machine. So there's hope for you still, Greg. There's hope.
Yeah, I know there's hope. I was reading the fine print on my directions, and I got to call a phone number, and then they're like, you know, it's under warranty. We'll send you a new one. And they're like, all you have to do is include $10 with the coffee maker and then proof of purchase. I'm like, first of all, I got to pay you, and then second of all, like, I'm sure we got this off of Amazon or something, so we can go into the archives and find proof of purchase. But it made me flash back to when I was a kid and like my mom and dad cutting out the UPC code from every box they ever owned. Right? And there's like a drawer in my house with a bunch of barcodes in it because they knew the day would come and need to have it for like a return or something. So it's what's old is new again, I guess.
Great stuff, Greg, man. We'll catch up again soon.
Anytime.
There you go. That is Greg Wyshynski from ESPN, brought to you by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for
metal. The coffee, like, I feel the pain. You feel the pain, Maddie. I mean, if you didn't have the, right? Like, you're...
Oh, wow. Maddie doesn't feel the pain, he says.
No, coffee's not something I need every morning.
It's not?
But you make it every morning.
I don't have coffee today.
Well, why didn't you make coffee this morning? What is this? Who drinks coffee
part-time? You just wake up and you feel like one, you'll have it. If you don't,
it's more for, like, honestly, and I know this
Don't say taste.
It's more for the taste.
Oh, my God.
It's something nice and warm. It's something nice and warm to drink, and it's more for that than to wake me up.
You understand why I drink it to wake up, right? But you don't understand.
I understand why you drink it.
I like a good decaf coffee at night.
Yeah.
I do too. It's not bad as a little treat.
You guys are
good for the digestion.
You guys are disgusting.
It's wonderful.
Oh,
but
my God.
It's not rocket fuel for you.
No, it doesn't do that to me at all.
My wife, big time coffee drinker.
Yes.
I got her, it was for some sort of present. I got her like this nice little coffee maker, and she's already had issues with it too. She's had to call in, and they had to walk her through a factory reset. And I'm starting to think the whole the homemade coffee game is a scam.
Are those like the pod ones that you guys are like?
I think she's a podder.
Nespresso? Like I said,
because my parents had an issue one. Like every couple months, they had to return it back to Costco and get a new one. I've not had an issue, but I have the full drip coffee.
I don't even know what that means.
Just
like regular coffee? Okay.
Yeah.
Like at the old station at 1260, I bought a little cheap one.
Yeah.
For like $20.
Just let her buck.
And it's still there rocking and working at the station.
Yeah, which you should have taken with you.
Yeah, I realized I would have been an absolute ass if I took that one.
That would have been a power
because
move.
It was mine. I did buy
that. Would have been a power move.
They would have been, but I couldn't do that to Jess. Jess needs her coffee. So
okay.
that one's
fair
for
enough.
Jess.
You're
but
a good guy.
Like if you have just a regular coffee pot, you'll be fine. It's once you get into the other stuff that seems to have all the issues.
Well, it's like a high-end automobile, and then if something happens, you got to send away for it's a lot more. It's the import, right?
Companies that are trying to now make you pay monthly for heated steering wheels or heated seats, that type of stuff. You can't do that with the old-fashioned coffee pots. Put your filter in, put your beans in, put the water in, let it go.
Speaking of high-end vehicles, my Explorer sounds like the back wheels are gonna fall off. You guys gotta come for a ride.
I can't wait.
Right now.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's clickbait. Hey, my wheels are gonna fall off. Come for a ride. Can't wait.
Like I don't know what's going on, but when I drive, it's like really loud in the back.
Did you fix the wipers though?
Wipers are fixed. That costs like $500, $600 to get the wipers fixed. It needs to be like a new switch or something. Real scam, right? But now I have this theory that when you take your car into a shop, they fix the one thing and then they like tweak something else and they're like, this idiot's going to be back in 4 months.
Oops.
And I think that's what's happened now. Like when I'm driving, I hear like it's really loud in the back of the car and the kids are like, Daddy. Like I can't even hear them.
You look back and they've fallen off, right? The other half of the vehicle's just been.
Marshall's hanging off the axle. He's like, Daddy, you're going to have to get a new car. Like, what is going on here? It's a real mess. Anyway, what I'll probably do is, as Big Maple, I think, says in the YouTube chat, I'll just park the car and then plug in a bunch of space heaters around the back end and hope it fixes whatever was happening, whatever was going wrong. Your confessions. Let's go. We're going to get to that at 7:45 today. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Joaquin Gage, the rap for William Huff. We got lots still on the go. Tell your friends that the Nielsen Show, the boys are back. We are back, and we are better than ever, and this is just going to get better and better and better. So EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Send that link to your friends. Yeah. You can they can watch, they can listen live. It's super simple. And, I had a good meeting yesterday. We can't say, like, next week we'll announce it, but a real encouraging meeting yesterday with some people.
You're baiting.
Oh,
you've got that
very
hook.
much.
You're the hook.
Watch next Monday for more details. That should be pretty good. All right, let's get into a sports update for Lieutenant Eric. We'll come back with more of your messages to the Paris Jewelers inbox and, of course, in the nasty chat as well. That's all on the way coming up here on the Nielsen Show.
Monday Night Football doubleheader last night. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers picking up a big home win, 26-22 for the Browns. TJ Watt with a scoop and score for the go-ahead touchdown. Browns running back Nick Chubb, though, he would leave early in the game due to a left knee injury. He is expected to miss the remainder of the season. The other game last night saw the Saints improve to 2-0 for the first time in 10 years, defeating the Panthers 2017. You can join me at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road for Thursday Night Football when the Giants take on the Niners. The Century Sports Bar Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. On the diamond, the Mariners shut out Oakland 5-0. Rangers doubled up by Boston 4-2. It all means Toronto hold a 1-game lead on both Texas and Seattle for the second wildcard spot entering today. The Jays will visit the Yankees to kick off a 3-game set tonight. Yusei Kikuchi starts for Toronto up against Clark Schmidt for New York. The Oilers wrapping up the Young Stars tournament yesterday afternoon out in Penticton with a 5-2 loss to the Canucks. Puck drop on the Oilers' preseason schedule is Sunday against the Jets. And match day 1, the UEFA Champions League group stage will kick off this morning and this afternoon with 8 matches in total. This Sports Rewind is brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electrical Motor sales and servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
Shop.
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week one, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly, and I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have, and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielson Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
That's a pretty good one, too. We got that one, and then I like this House Beat 2 we've got it labeled as.
House Beat 2, yes.
The Nielson Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric.
That's good, too, right?
Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Both be hitting.
like, oh, data muncher? Nom, 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 nom. That's right.
They're both good. They're both real nice.
Just give me that laugh. Drop that into any track.
Menopause Nick has entered the nasty chat this morning with a, hey, nasty chat.
Hey, Big Daddy.
Jen says, black coffee is gross. Love me some coffee creamer. And, well, you can keep those hot takes rolling in, and we'll see how things continue to go.
That's you. You'd be flavored creamer guy. That you'd be all over the creamer, right? Like he'd love all the sweet tastes.
Does it come in like strawberry?
You could get all sorts of flavors.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't even be drinking coffee. You'd just be doctoring it up with a bunch of sugary milk.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
is coffee not good for you though, boys? Like,
well, it's like everything in life. It's a certain amount.
Like a little bit of it.
Like,
let's say somebody drinks 5 coffees a day.
Well, no, that's a lot of caffeine you're putting in your body.
You know, on airplanes, and this is where I think this is a good caffeine thing. On WestJet lately, in the little snack box they give you, there's like a little chocolate in there. It's called Awake. Have you seen this Awake chocolate? And it comes with caffeine in it. So I've been taking those and pretending it's like a real kick. Yeah. I was just like, oh, here we go.
Under the tongue and away we go.
Yeah, I turn around to the rest of the plane. I say, it's about to go down. And I open up and I eat this Awake chocolate. And
take off.
Yeah, it says
there's as much caffeine as a regular cup of coffee.
So you've been prepping
for 250 milliliters of an energy drink.
Really?
Jeez, and you've had
cool idea.
Yeah, you've had Red Bulls in the Monsters.
Yeah, I'm off the Red Bulls now because of the whole blood pressure thing. But I do miss the taste of Blue Red Bull. Blue Red Bull was pretty good.
There was a sipper for you. You could kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, that one
on
you
the
could
rocks.
That one you could just drink all day. Yeah, the rest of them is not very good. Menopause Nick says, I don't drink coffee. I'm an energy drink guy. Yeah. Hey, Dusty, yelling it's about to go down on a plane is probably not a good thing. That's a good point. I guess I didn't mean it that way, but I was just like, things are about to go down. Like, things are crazy now. Things are good. Hey, Fit Check. Is this the Whale and the Wolf? This is the new album T-shirt. It's a Fit Check. Yeah, it's nice.
Let's get a look at that.
Let's get a look at this thing. Look at that.
Framed up. Yeah, that's good.
That looks real nice. What's it say on the back? Concerts? It's concert. Ooh. It says Whale and the Wolf right down the back in the middle. Right down the spine.
It's a good fit.
That's pretty cool.
Feels good. Good material.
My outfit today.
Breathable.
This is my brand new Utah Get Me Too from Point Break. Just picked this bad boy up. I found this really cool T-shirt site. So now I'm just
custom made or
this is from I can't remember the site. But I figured now they're going to be on video all the time. I should try to rotate like a bunch of new T-shirts.
You're upping the wear. Yeah,
I'm up in the T-shirt game. I'm up in the black T-shirt game, and it's pretty big. Yeah, I got a couple new CFL ones. I wore one of those yesterday. I got this one. I got what's the other one? I got another one coming, and I'm just ordering T-shirts like crazy now.
I can't wait till the summer we can come in topless again.
Yeah,
like we did all the time back at the old station, right? Like
shirts and
you
skins.
don't know what you're missing from June and July shows. Yeah.
That's good. All right, 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few of your text messages in the nasty chat, of course, as well. We had a little talk on the Elks. Oilers camp opens up tomorrow, and which battle? We'll get into this with Gage a little bit, but which battle in camp intrigues you the most? There's a few. I mean, there's Desharnais Broberg. There's Skinner Campbell, if you believe like that there's a significant battle there. And then, I can't put the battle for the 12th forward spot. It's not in my top 2. Let's say it's kind of intriguing.
It's a baseball fight.
It's there. It's a
bit of a baseball fight, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of your.
He's not
a big battle, but
when I talk about baseball fights being clickbait for me in the sports world online, I if I see an article on who's going to be the Oilers' 12th forward, I'm not going to lie to you. I click it. I'll go check it out, but it's not on the list, right? It's. To me, can anybody, take that top 6 spot away from Connor Brown? I highly doubt it. But Eric, are you more intrigued by Broberg versus Desharnais for that 6th spot, the 3rd spot on the right side, or Skinner and Campbell between the pipes?
I think it's Skinner and Campbell between the pipes, because this is one of those things where you're either team Skinner, you're team Campbell. Some people, expecting a bounce back. Some people and it's goaltending like that that just jumps out on the page for me. I not to say the Desharnais-Broberg battle isn't of importance, but I just, when you're talking goaltending for a contending team here, and again, it's not like either answer is wrong, whether you're on Team Skinner, Team Campbell, whether you feel it's a 50-50, whatever it is. I mean, we talked last year about you needing to get Campbell up to speed. He's got to do something. He's going to be needed in the playoffs. And he was. But for what you're paying him and everything, it's something that needs to, and you kind of, it's a battle that you enjoy. It's a good battle.
You want to see it.
You should have a battle because these are two guys. They're competing for a job on a team that's competing for a cup. So I think in terms of battles, it's a healthy battle and one that I would want to continue to watch because they'll both make each other better, or so you would hope, going head to head there in the net. And for the Desharnais-Broberg one, it's interesting and it's one you can kind of discuss, but it's goaltending, baby. It's between the pipes. That's kind of there's never any right answer with it. I mean, people can stylistically say, "Oh, Skinner should get this." Or you can make a lot of cases for a lot of reasons, I think, in this battle. So to me, it's the goaltending one with a bullet.
What say you? 780-218-9999. That's the Paris Jewelers inbox or on the nasty chat right now. I think it has to be goaltending. Simply because if you're going to be a true contender, which they are, as important as a third pair right D is, your chances of winning the Stanley Cup comes down to what your goaltenders give you. So Tommy Gazzola on the Oil Stream. If you've not yet subscribed to the Oil Stream podcast, you can do that on all podcasting platforms. Go to the Oil Stream page at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. It's got all the episodes there. You can go check that out as well. And the Oil Stream, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, live right here at 12 o'clock on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tommy's rankings of importance. He had Jack Campbell at 10. He had Stuart Skinner at 7.
Oh,
and there's what is it? Nuge, Bouchard, Nurse, Ekholm, and then McDavid and Draisaitl, the 6 players that Tommy ranks more important than Stuart Skinner on the team. I think if they're going to be a true legitimate contender, one of those 2 goaltenders has to be in the top 5 come midpoint of the season.
Yeah, and I think, too, a 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever kind of deployment or split. I do think the fan base wants to see one of these guys just taking it around. I'm sure the coaching staff, I'm sure everybody kind of wants to see that. But it's going to be something that we're going to be focusing on, and we're going to be hammering it. And every morning after a game, we're going to be coming in here and carving up the play of whatever goaltender starts that night. It's just going to be a topic of discussion until one of them really takes hold of it and runs with it. And I don't know if that's going to be the case, right?
Yeah,
but is that the end of the world? I don't think it is.
If both of them are playing well, it's not the end of the world.
No,
right?
and in terms of deployment, some days you get it right, some days you get it wrong in terms of starting a guy or whatever and not his night, but I'd rather have 2 capable goaltenders moving forward to compete for a cup instead of 1 stud in risk of in risk of injury.
In risk of injury. I was going to say I'd take the stud when you get to the playoffs if you can.
Now that's a different story, yeah.
But you would be in a good
if you offer a Hellebuck to start the playoffs aside from Skinner and Campbell, I guess you take the Hellebuck for a stretch run. But to lead up to that, I'd like to have 2 good goalies playing well.
Rashog brought it up yesterday on the Got Your Back Monday Morning Mandates every Monday. Rashog 8:25. I don't know if he's going to have that awesome sun glare.
That was
pretty cool.
He's got to get in the
gods
half
above.
game.
That was nuts. But he brought up, who's going to start opening night. And there was if Campbell plays really well in the preseason, you give him the net on opening night. And it comes back around to last year's playoffs. Skinner was, there was some ups and downs. I think that's probably putting it nicely.
And a young goaltender.
But you're right. He was a rookie. He was nominated for the Calder last year. He had no playoff experience. And Jack Campbell came in and had some moments, but as somebody pointed out, and let's rewind to post-game shows and the morning after show last year. Campbell he came in and played pretty well in a couple games, but you can't tell me you weren't extremely nervous when Jack Campbell was coming into a playoff game, right?
No, totally.
And he lived up to it. I mean, in those relief appearances, he gave his team an opportunity to try to do what they wanted to do. But I think many of you were probably still on the edge of your seat with every single shot with the way that the regular season went.
But now the way that you mentioned his playoff performance, albeit, small sample there, but does that now does that change now? If Campbell's game 1 day one in the starter's net? I mean, just say hypothetically. I mean, are you still kind of feeling that, or are you kind of getting the feeling from the playoffs? It's going to have to change sometime, right? The guy's going to have to find his game round into form. I do wonder if that nervousness goes away just because of the small glimpses that we did see in the playoffs. I don't know, but it's a battle I'll be watching. I'm sure everybody else will, and they all have their opinions on it and everything, but I like the fact that they have two good guys competing against each other and ultimately making each other better in the end.
780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. Paris Jewelers, Canadian and family owned, 23 locations across Canada, flexible financing. You don't have to pay for a year in some situations.
EA in the inbox says defensively, this team still isn't there. So
which we don't know. We don't know. I mean, a full year of Ekholm might make us think defensively the team might be there, but that's completely fair. I mean, that's a completely fair text. In the nasty chat this morning, Megabird says, what do you mean? The Oilers aren't going to go 82-0 this year? Wouldn't that be something? What an all-time run.
Is there a cool bet? Can we get it on
I can get that line set up for sure. Rob is in and says, goaltending, absolutely most interesting battle. Without it, this team won't go anywhere. Filthy says, you got to have goaltending and defense. We know the boys can score when they want. And TV Burkle says, Campbell in the playoffs took an extra year or two off my life. Which is, yeah. I'm not even going to disagree with you.
Campbell and Mike Smith gave me the same nervous feeling, Mark from Estevan. A little bit of different nerves, though, as opposed to how they both play, right?
I think Mike Smith in the playoffs
was a
little less nerve-wracking. Like, more potential for disaster with Smith and some of his creative ways he'd like to play the puck. But I'm probably nervous with both of them. This is a good one. Why are we effing always talking about goaltending every single year? Well, it's because you don't have a Vasilevsky between the pipes, right? Like it's going to be a conversation that continues to pop up as we work our way throughout the season. So we've got that coming up. More of your messages on that, 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat as well. We'll get into it with Gager, who, if you do subscribe and listen to Two Guys and a Goalie, Gager has some pretty good opinions on what's going to happen between the pipes this year. He's a little worried about Stuart Skinner, so we'll get into that with Gager around 8:25 this morning. If you have any questions for 3 Questions Too Many, you can submit those to 780-218-9999. We'll give those answers coming up just after 8 o'clock this morning. On the way next, we are going to get to your weekly confessions. Who did you leave on the bench in fantasy? How did you sewer your own team this week? Or what life confessions do you need to get off your chest? That's why we're here. That's why we came back. That's why we're still alive. For weekly confessions. We'll get to that coming up here. 780-218-9999 or your confessions into the nasty chat over on YouTube. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
Monday night doubleheader of the NFL saw the Steelers knock off the Browns 26-22 from Pittsburgh. Browns not only losing the game, but also running back Nick Chubb. He would leave early due to a left knee injury and would not return. He's expected to be done for the season. Elsewhere last night, the Saints improved to 2-0 for the first time in a decade. They defeat the Panthers 20-17. You can join me every Monday and Thursday night at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road. I'll be there Thursday when the Giants take on the Niners. You can qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to see the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. The Toronto Blue Jays back in action tonight. They'll kick off a 3-game set in New York against the Yankees. Yusei Kikuchi will get the nod for Toronto up against Clark Schmidt. Last night on the diamond, the Mariners shut out Oakland 5-0, while the Rangers dropped one to Boston 4-2. Toronto enter play today with a 1-game lead on both Texas and Seattle for the second wild card spot. Oilers wrapping up the Young Stars tournament out in Penticton yesterday afternoon. They dropped one 5-2 to the Canucks. The preseason schedule begins Sunday against the Jets, with main camp getting underway tomorrow. Match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League group stage will kick off this morning and this afternoon with 8 matches in total. This sports update is brought to you by the staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Mitch never has any bad ideas, only good ideas that go horribly wrong.
Oh my God.
Why am I looking at that?
Wait, why are you slowing down?
Frank?
No way. Frank?
Hey, honey. Hey.
What on earth are you doing?
We're streaking. We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium.
Who's streaking?
There's more coming.
Frank, get in the car.
Everybody's doing.
Now.
Okay.
Lease the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-90 inline-6 turbo or plug-in hybrid to have room for absolutely everybody with its third row seating. Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagner coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagner involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielson and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, welcome back to the Nielsen Show, 747. If you're just leaving for work, we don't know what it's like out there. I will say this. If you are... What are you pointing to?
There's a small window down by Wannick's office.
Yeah, that's where we used to see the black sedan.
Yeah.
Black sedan creep. Haven't seen him in a while. You saw him this morning, Matty? Interesting. Matty getting in a little bit earlier than us recently. So black sedan creep was there.
Always out earlier.
Well, I mean, no, but we're not getting in as early as we were last week.
Oh.
So black sedan creep still out there?
It was there today. It's
Really?
been different. Yesterday there was a guy on his phone, like
Just
walking.
standing? I saw
He's
the walking.
He
I saw
didn't-
walking
It's like
guy.
he wanted to be outside for some reason. He was on
Stretch
his
the
phone,
legs.
which was kind of nice.
Are you
Just
nodding
seeing the
now or
body.
wait?
No,
like, you know.
no. But today, well, because driving by black sedan, it's full tinted.
Yeah,
windows.
that's true, yeah.
Like the passenger or the driver window is tinted. So as I was trying to look in to get a glimpse,
Can't see.
can't see anything. But that sedan was back today. So
Okay,
I think he
interesting.
might have shifts
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
It's a gang.
Oh, okay. So we're figuring out the schedule.
I'm starting to figure out maybe their schedule here because we had them a couple days and all of a sudden it was other people. Yeah. So I think you just got to pay attention to the shifts. But I think today, there's a chance Black Sedan will be back tomorrow.
Oh, good. Let's play that game. I like that. I'll get a line at Coolbet. Will Black Sedan creep be back tomorrow morning?
Just a little sprinkle.
What happened? Oh, sorry, we're not eating tonight. Why? Black Sedan Creep was there. I didn't think he was going to be there. Maddie said he was only on Tuesday, Wednesdays.
I'm rinsed.
All right, let's get into weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental, where they want to wish all of the kids a safe return to school and remind you that it's not too late to finish up your summer project. I would get there right away. If you're working on those summer projects, like the leaves are starting to turn a little bit in our backyard, we're starting to see some yellow leaves falling.
Yeah.
Now is the time. Spectrum Rental. Go rent whatever you need and have your yard become the envy of the neighborhood. Spectrum Rental, keeping your project on time, which is really the most important thing. That's why Spectrum Rental is great, because they keep your projects on time. Most of our projects are running way behind.
Should have done the LRT.
I was driving Marshall to basketball yesterday, and it's way out on like 66th Street, and they've got that LRT line that goes. But there was a newer looking LRT, and it said it was testing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was up and down. We're just
you watched the test,
and it stopped at the light. Have you ever seen this? This train stopped at the light. I thought trains always had like the right of way.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there stopped, and I'm looking to the left over here, and the train is stopped.
So nobody's moving.
The train's waiting for the light.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
What a world.
I guess it's because they're testing. I don't know.
Testing.
Do you see trains ever stop at a light? This is wild to me. There's my confession.
Well, that's your confession.
I am totally rattled by the new train system over there on the southeast side. That's crazy stuff. What's your confession, buddy? Usually
I got into the pillow game recently.
What?
Yeah, I own a new pillow. No,
that's a tough thing to do.
That was a bait thing. I've used pillows before. I haven't just like, this isn't like, oh, I found a pillow that I sleep on a pillow now. It's great. But no, I was using the same, like, I'm a guy, so I don't buy anything into you just kind of like go with what you're doing. And so I have this really bad pillow I've been sleeping on for like 20 years, and there's really nothing to it.
A flat one?
Very flat,
Yeah,
extremely flat. I mean, it is basically sleeping on a blanket. And then I wake up every morning, I didn't sleep well. Oh, my neck hurts. So
for 2 decades.
Complaining of all this stuff that probably had direct to the pillow. So the time finally comes over the weekend. I went to a store, which I will not name, and I let me know if I did it wrong. It's a pillow. This isn't buying like a pair of slippers, right? So I want to make sure that it's comfortable, right? That you don't want to take it home and not know. So I proceeded to rip open about 10 different bags of pillows and press my hand into it. I ripped the bags open, though. I ripped all the bags open. Display.
You did?
I left a mess. I ripped them all open.
Oh, my goodness.
Why? Nobody was watching.
Yeah.
I was paying money for the pillow.
Not a pillow creep.
Who cares? Well, is it a big deal? They can sew the bags back up. I don't know. But so I ripped open a bunch of bags of pillows at a store, only bought one. And I left all the wrapping in the unopened bags of pillows. I didn't care. I'm paying money for a pillow. I want the best one. I should be able to. You should have them in an area where you can go and test them, not just in a rack where they're covered in plastic and I have to rip the plastic and touch. So
there should be, even if it's not a bed store, there should be a bed next to the pillow section so you can actually give it a go.
So I wanted to test myself, so I ripped them all open, and there was a bunch of wrapping in plastic But I found the pillow. It's great. Last night, I first sleep with it. It was amazing. Like, you wake up and you're like, this is great. Like, you don't like kind of, it's a morning time. I'm like,
that's huge.
It was very enjoyable to wake up this
night with a new pillow.
And my neck, like,
you're a new man.
I'm feeling it.
He's a new man.
I'm feeling it.
That's what this is. So when I do get this, I used to nap all the time. There's less time for naps now. But in the downstairs, we call it the wrestling room because we got 2 queen beds in the one big bedroom.
And a basketball court.
And there's a basketball court and a hot tub in this room downstairs. And in there, one of my buddies just came over and stayed on Saturday. So we were like, usually kids and I tear these 2 beds apart, right? There's no sheets. We put in what we call the pit of doom. So there's 2 queen beds, and then right next to it is all the pillows and all the sheets and all the blankets, and it's the pit of doom. And we wrestle, and then I throw them in the pit of doom. So, but we have 9 pillows downstairs in the wrestling room. 9 of them. And when I nap down there, I'm always digging through them to try to find the 2 that I really like.
You have a couple, yeah.
I got a couple I really like. I got one I sleep with, and I got one that I kind of cuddle, like I hold. I'm a big upstairs in our main bed. I've got like a body pillow.
Yeah,
with the
you
full
put it between the knees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like
good for the
that
back.
too. It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and then I got a flat pillow if I want to sleep on my stomach, and then a thicker pillow if I want to sleep on my side. And pillow game is tough, man.
I think we've aged 20 years during this segment here. Eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Our backs are feeling good. Our necks are nice.
Hey, I feel great today. I
I
feel great today.
It's awesome.
My confession is, since I found this this T-shirt website, I feel like I'm going to become sort of new T-shirt guy all the time now.
That's okay.
You know, isn't Marc Mageau? Marc Mageau's a shoe guy, right? You guys have Mageau. The Mageau has tons of shoes. He buys tons of shoes.
Collect them, yeah.
And he kind of collects shoes. I think I'm going to become T-shirt guy.
But are they one-offs?
It's very convenient. Just go on.
You're going to wear this one and then like you rip it off after the show and give it to a listener. So the next day it's a new, like going to.
I want to get to a place where I have, like somebody who collects shoes would have a bunch of, like a really nice shoe area in their house. I want to have a really nice T-shirt area. Kind of like where I keep my suits for CFL and TSN stuff, but just for T-shirts, where I have so many of them that I can wear this new Utah Get Me 2 one. I can wear it like 8 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it always stays in really nice condition. Put like the plastic bag back over it as well. Like I really want these high-end sort of T-shirts.
Get you 360. Let's get the full year. Try to get a shirt for each day of the year.
That would be pretty cool.
That's a dream. That's a lofty goal, but I think you could achieve it.
My dream for that has always been socks. I'd like a fresh pair of socks 365 days a year.
And you're not wearing them again. Just that one
That's
day
it.
and boom,
One off.
done. Retired, yeah.
Done.
I think we do that with the shirt game. I say we set a goal here.
You think so?
Why not?
Could I do it? A different T-shirt.
It gives you something because then
my
it's a
wife
reason.
would kill me.
Well, no, but
She'd
that's the
kill me.
reason. Well, we've set this goal. I have to do it. It's for the show.
That would be tough.
It's just a shirt. It's one shirt.
I've got one coming. Somebody in the YouTube chat earlier, the Nasty Chat said, "Hey Dusty, where's the Goonies shirts?" And I've actually got one coming that says "Sloth Hearts Chunk," and that's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on that one. So that should be pretty good. And when it arrives, I'll be like,
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you. Oh, I love you, Chuck. Oh, I love you.
I love you, Goonies shirt. When it arrives, it's going to be great. Be a big day. Big Maple. Confession. I watched The Color of Money for the first time last night, and I've always known who Paul Newman was, but I've never seen any of his movies.
Oh.
Never seen The Color of Money.
Cool Hand Luke?
Never seen it. I don't know if I've ever watched a movie with, well, that's not true. We would have watched a few Paul Newman movies along the way. Slapshot.
Yes,
for
that's
sure.
the one.
But outside of Slapshot, I'm not sure I've ever watched any other. Give me some Paul Newman movies.
Cool Hand Luke is the way. Like, please, just do yourself a favor.
It's a Western?
Yeah, kind of. It's about he's in a prison. It's like so
it's not a Western at all.
Well, kind of. It's out in the country.
Well, kind of could be a Western.
Eats a lot of hard-boiled eggs in one scene. It's great. Well, here you go. Cars, 2006. It says he's in this.
Oh, I love Cars. Who's he in Cars? Does it say?
Doc Hudson.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Paul Newman's Doc Hudson?
You must confess that you've seen him in a movie now, or heard him in a movie.
Hi, my name's Dustin. I didn't know that Paul Newman did the voice of Doc Hudson.
Look at this. John Ratzenberger was in that movie as well, eh?
Cars is a great movie. All of them are. I love all the Cars movies. Guys, confession, I live in Edmonton. I never miss watching an Oilers game on TV, but I have still never been to Rogers Place for any event. Wow.
Not even a concert, hey?
That's for no event. Not even like an Oil Kings game.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Now,
wrestling.
I would say that
wrestling.
It's expensive to go. Like if you don't have the means to
well,
go
you're
out,
not going every
not
night,
to a game, not to a concert. Those are expensive events. But I'd be a little surprised if like you had, income that you could use on fun stuff. That you would be a huge Oilers fan. I've never gone to anything downtown. Maybe you're intimidated downtown like I am. That's another
maybe this is just a tip of the confession here, and the real one is just the intimidation of downtown. Yeah,
I guess I probably haven't brought that up on the show yet because this was all downtown stuff while we were unemployed for the summer.
Have at it.
Downtown. Hi, my name's Dustin, and I am very intimidated by downtown.
It was like the Seinfeld. You're Costanza. You're the hayseed walking around New York. It was the exact same thing.
It was wild. We had a couple meetings downtown, and I'm going to these meetings. I'm texting the boys. I'm like, I was a young, like, small town child that one day we were meeting, and I couldn't find you guys. And I didn't even know where I was. I had my phone out. The guy almost tried to beat me up when I was caught. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm standing on the corner trying to find these guys. And this guy stands next to me, and he's like growling at me. He's looking at me. He's like, "Rrr." And I was like, oh, my God, what's going to happen here? Is this guy going to try to fight me? What do? Do I fight back? Do I bark back? Do I try to intimidate him by being a bigger dog?
You're just thinking of the Hamptons.
It was
take me back.
It was insane. So... Yeah, take me back home to west of the Henday. So then we start walking across the crosswalk, and I bailed. I picked up my phone. I pretended I was on my phone, and I turned around and walked the other way, which in a weird way was actually the way I was supposed to be going. So it worked out well. But I thought this guy was going to jump me. So I have been very hesitant to head downtown ever since. It's intimidating. It's a big place.
It was the same shirt as Costanza too, in that you were just the same. We saw him walking, remember, and he was kind of down the block, and
I saw these guys, and I was like, I made it.
It's like the finish line,
I'm gonna be safe now. So that's really good. But I can drive. I drive down to the rink, go to a game, sure. But the rest of downtown is really fascinating to me. It's interesting.
It's something.
Yeah, it really is. All right. Nasty Chat, you can hit us up. We have Gager coming up in about 25 minutes. We'll get to that. If you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia right now, we've got a gift certificate to our great partners at Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. All you have to do is play Kind of Easy Trivia. If you get 3 of the 5 questions correct, boom, you're going to Mr. Mike's. It's that simple. 780-218-9999. That's 780-218-9999. Just text us and say, hey, I want to play. Maddie will pick one of you, and we will play Kind of Easy Trivia when we return. We'll also get to 3 questions too many for Park Mazda, and Gage will pop by for Pro-Am Sports, and then we'll get to the wrap, and that'll set us up nicely for the Hangout, which is coming up from 9 to 11 today with Maddie and Tommy, assuming Tommy does indeed make it into work today.
Tommy Leviticus.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to find out Tommy's middle name in like 30 minutes. This is going to be great. Nielson Show continues next.
2 guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
2 guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey. Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for The Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch. Sundays at 8:30. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielson Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Tuesday morning with the Nielson Show, 8:04. Thank you very much for joining us. Gage should be by around 8:25 today, and then we'll get to the wrap for William Huff. That's going to happen around 8:45 this morning. Your messages into the Nasty Chat on YouTube anytime, and we'll get to a few more of those as we work our way through the show this morning and in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. And if you are watching live, make sure you do subscribe to the podcast, so just in case you miss anything, you can go back and grab that along the way. 3 questions too many coming up for Park Mazda. We're going to start with a little kind of easy trivia this morning, brought to you by Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th and Mark Messier Trail. The sirloin bites to die for, brand new location. Now in Fort Sask, as well as Mr. Mike's, and the classic Mike Burger continues to take over the world, something I thought they would do as a young child, eating Little Mike burgers at Mr. Mike's as a kid in Cranbrook.
Mikey burgers.
I'm pretty sure it was the Little Mike Burger.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I adjusted to like the full-size Mike Burger at a pretty young age. You know, sometimes you just got to have the goods. So that was
the Michael Burger.
Yeah. We've got a $25 gift card to Mr. Mike's. We are going to play kind of easy trivia right now for that one. Jason is going to play today. Let's bring in Jason this morning. Jason, you ready to go?
Let's go.
All right, I'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck, man. Here we go. Name a team that won a football game last night.
Steelers.
What position does Deshaun Watson play?
QB.
What city is home to the NFL Saints?
New Orleans.
Which team drafted Connor Bedard?
Blackhawks.
What WHL team did Bedard play for?
Korean Ferrari.
No! Oh my God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Tuesday morning Club Beat Loop provided by Jason today, and he is on his way to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, where you can wear torn up board shorts and go enjoy a delicious steak.
You can even sit a little slumped in the booth, you know. You can kind of if you want, you can as casual as you want.
Yeah, I wonder what they would think if you took one of those booths that seats like at least 6, like the bigger booth, and you laid along it. But then you had somebody feed you the sirloin
Bring
bites
me my
like grapes. Like you come in with Eric's newly purchased pillow that he was talking about in the last hour.
That's heaven.
And you're laying there, and somebody's coming, and Mr. Mike is dropping the sirloin bites into your mouth.
That's
because
casual.
It's the casualest place ever. So go look. We sent a lot of people to Mr. Mike's. Never had a complaint, man. Absolutely delicious. So make sure you check it out. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segments?
I do. 3 questions too many brought to you by the great staff of Park Mazda, as well as dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. They don't call him the DP for nothing. That's it.
That's it.
I don't know what.
No, dealer principal.
Oh!
Yeah,
okay.
dealer principal. I got this one.
I
dealer
didn't.
principal.
I didn't.
With Park Mazda, your dealer for life. People are still guessing Tommy Gazzola's middle name, which we learned from some paperwork around here that it starts with an L.
And great guesses.
Yeah, this is
I
probably
hope
how
they're
you
all
win text
correct,
of the
really.
day today.
Yeah.
This could be how you win text. Well, actually, you know what? Text line has been pretty good today. Nasty Chat's been great today as well. Tom La Huge Wiener Gazzola. Tom LeBron Gazzola, which has been out there as well. We pretty much guessed every name that starts with an L. It's got to be one of them. We'll find out when he gets here.
I don't think any of you actually said Lucas at any point.
No.
We didn't say Lucas.
No, I said Lucius. That's as close as I've gotten. I purposely left out because it's my brother, and I don't want nepotism to be involved.
Like in the Gladiator Lucius.
That'd be a nice one.
Yeah, Lucius.
Thomas Lucius Gazzola.
Lucius Gazzola. I got time for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool. I really hope it's one of the. We've had some really nice suggestions. I really hope it's not. Hey, what's your middle name? Lionel. Oh man,
I'd have time for that too. I just hope
we'd have to call him Lionel.
But stop hiding behind the L. I hope today kind of expresses it so that he can feel
my middle name's
safe,
out there.
Kinda.
My middle name's Dustin Bo Keith Nielsen. What's your middle name?
Anthony Joseph.
Anthony Joseph.
Which
You're
could
two
be
name
AJ.
or two.
It could be AJ too. So it's kind of
like the Eric AJ.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever call you AJ along the way?
Well, back in the Backstreet Boys, right when that was, and AJ was one of them, so it was kind of like it was a powerful name to use, right? Like with the girls, like AJ. Ooh, wow.
Maddie, do we know your middle name? What's your middle name?
Do I have to say?
Oh, we have to guess two.
No, it's Nicholas.
Oh, that's a great middle name. So Matthew Nicholas.
How is it spelled? There's lots of variation on that. N-I-C-K or
C-H.
C-H, you got the C-H-O-L-A-S?
Yeah.
Really good at spelling Nicholas. Always can hit that.
Well, here's one. Tom Laverne Gazzola.
Tommy La Bamba Gazzola. Man, I hope he comes in today. And what's your middle name? Laverne.
La Fonda chimes in as well.
La Fonda.
Wow,
from,
give me La Fonda.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. Yeah, that's a good one, too. All right. Well, keep your suggestions coming in. Tommy, probably driving, I would think.
Latrell.
Like Latrell Sprewell.
Yeah.
God, that would be a good one, too.
What a throwback.
Gaz, what's your middle name? Oh, Latrell.
Cool.
God. All right. Oh, Lois.
Yeah.
Kyle the Embalmer. Good job, buddy. Good job. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many. Hey, do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's @Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow me on Twitter. The poll is out.
Yeah, what are the results?
No, I'm just leaving it at that. That's the clickbait. You're gonna have to. I put out a poll this morning. It's a very. It's.
I voted
the
on
polliest of polls. You did too. Yeah.
I voted on it.
3 options. I think the one you like is in the lead.
It is okay.
Yeah, 52% to 35 to 11.
Okay. Go vote for Mortal Kombat. Not to sway things too much there. But that's
and relive the night it was at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Fergie's prostate out there last night. We were having a nice large glass of red. Him and I, a Merlot, as they say. So.
You can also follow us at YEG Sports Talk. That's YEG Sports Talk. We're over 4,000 followers now, which is awesome. So go give us a follow over there. It would be very much appreciated.
DMs are open.
At YEG Sports Talk. Yeah, you can basically communicate with all of us through there too, which is nice. That's real nice. Thomas LinkedIn Gazzola. Hey, guys, it's Lucius, but he pronounces it luscious on account of his hair.
Luscious. Let's change it to luscious.
Thomas Luscious Gazzola.
We'll raise some money, change his middle name.
All right. Let's get into 3 questions. Too many today. Question number 1. Probably too early for this one, but somebody sent it in, so let's get to it. Over or under 9.5 wins for the Elks next season? Keep in mind, Their win total. Oh, we gotta get that cool bet line of the day in. You guys are gonna like this one today. We'll get to that after this. Over under 9.5 wins for the Elks season. Remember I think their win total this year was set at 7.5. So they're gonna have to win out, but 9.5's a pretty 10 wins is a really nice season.
Yeah, like I'm only thinking 9 maybe, like a 5. Like again, it's walking before you run. They're learning to kind of be in games, win games now in a variety of ways. I know everybody. You kind of want to fast forward. You see what you're seeing right now and saying, oh yeah, it's very easy to kind of get excited there and be bullish. It's kind of a 9. Like I'm hovering on 9, maybe 10, maybe a slight over.
You're still going to have BC and Winnipeg in the division. Calgary, I don't know how they're not better than they are this year. I mean, I still think they're better than they are this year.
Yeah.
So I probably would take... I'm with my man LTE here. I think it would be. I think slightly.
It's
under.
a little tough.
I think
slightly under, slightly over. Slightly
I think it could be over, but that might be unfair expectations considering you'd have Trey Ford going into like his second full season as the man.
Over 8.5.
And some younger guys. I take the over 8.5 for sure. No brainer. So yeah, I think I'd probably. Let's see. Nash is on the over. Chris is on the over. Canadian paramedic. Shouldn't you be saving somebody? He's on the under, and Dennis Flaherty is going to take the push at 9.5, which I like.
Good.
I take it even.
Well,
we're going to go with the
tie
9.5
involved. Hey, maybe
that's good. What about on the Paris Jewelers inbox here? 780-218-9999.
It's all Tom names. It's being flooded with Tom names. It's all Tom Lorenzo, late Ladarius, like a lot of it's just. Yeah, Tom, Ladarius, Gazzola, Luigi popping up, Lorenzo, late's the one.
Tommy La Bebe, Gazzola.
Yeah, Le Bebe.
Le Bebe. Le Bebe. Fresh Bebe. All right, question number 2. Am I crazy to think Dylan Holloway ends up on the Oilers' top line by the end of the season? That's in from Chris.
Due to what? I guess there's multiple ways I guess he could get there.
Yeah, I can't currently diagnose your mental state. But there are, I don't think it's, if you ask me, hey, is there a 0% chance that Dylan Holloway is on the Oilers' top line at the end of the year? I would not agree to that. I would not say there's a 0% chance. Lots of things could happen here. First of all, if he starts on the third line, maybe he plays extremely well, and they have to. He's like forcing his way. He's like busting through the door to be in the top 6. Well, then that's a way for it to happen. Evander Kane could get injured somewhere along the way. Dylan Holloway gets an opportunity. They could be running 3 centers, which is highly unlikely, but they could throw the Nudes in there in the middle, and Holloway ends up on the top line. So I don't think you're crazy. I would probably lean towards he's not on the top line by the end of the year. But if he is, there are paths to it happen.
But are they good scenarios to find him there, right? You mentioned his play, and that would be, outer worldly to kind of,
I put it like a 3% chance.
Yeah. So, but any other way of him getting up there would be due to a negative. You would see, again, injury and opportunity arises, but the
one thing he has going for him, in my opinion, would be that who else is going to push for a top 6 spot from the bottom 6? The rest of those bottom 6 guys,
he's the one,
are already identified as bottom 6 NHL forwards. Dylan Holloway is the one guy in there that is projected to be a top 6 forward in the National Hockey League. Now, he's got a long way to go, obviously. But I just don't think you can say there's 0% chance.
Always a chance.
Yeah. What was all that 1 in a million talk when it came to Holloway? Question number 3 today. Outside of this comes from our coffee discussion earlier. Greg Wyshynski started this whole coffee discussion because he joined us today and his coffee maker wasn't working, but he still had another coffee maker, which I guess is a great idea for these times when the main one doesn't work. But outside of coffee, what's the best way to wake up in the morning to really get your day going?
Sleeping on a brand new pillow.
That's good timing.
I'm living proof right now.
Look at the smile on this guy's face because of this pillow.
I'm getting emotional. It's one of those people say too, like mattress. You're spending a good chunk of your life laying on your mattress. You better get a good one. And I just, again, being a guy, you just, I'll get a new one when it breaks. The pillow game I never knew. So to me right now, it's recency bias, but it has to be a brand new pillow. I sprung up out of my bed. It was great. Felt alive, newborn.
My personal routine is just a small little chocolate milk. Just like a little dose. But maybe I'm going to get on these awake chocolates that I was telling you guys about from the airplane.
While you're in your ice bath.
But
on your deck every morning, 15 minutes.
No, I was going to say, you know what I actually do really like is, and it's impossible now with how much earlier we're in here. I used to be able to do it a little bit before the old show because it was right next to us. But I love going for a swim in the morning.
Yeah,
I really do. I love it. If there was like a 24-hour-a-day gym where I could go for a swim at like 4 in the morning, because the other gym doesn't open till 5, and it's kind of on the way here, it would work. Look at me, big gym guy. Look at my arms. I got nothing.
Gym.
I got nothing here. But I think a swim in the morning is super refreshing.
You like getting a little wet?
It really gets you going.
Get the blood moving?
Yeah. That would be... that would be great.
Make use of our neighbors downstairs. Maybe early morning spa or some sort of a sweat. Everyone to get you.
That would be good too.
Get you going. A whack with the willow branch.
Jen says, getting nasty in the morning. Take it how you like it.
Well, that's exercise too. It's all cardio.
Listening to the show, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think that's.
Yes.
I think that's what she meant, but
not what I meant.
Yeah.
But no, hey, we're all adults here, eh?
Yeah. I get except for the kids listening.
Well, no, but it's these are talks that you have to have, and that's a good pillow rest there from him, eh?
Just go to Gager. We've got to step away.
We have to.
All right. As somebody said, Matt.
What did we rank? Like, what's
I don't know.
What's the odds-on favor right now? What do we have?
What's your pick for Lance yet?
I just saw that one in the
strong
chat.
name.
Yeah. Well, there's a dude in the chat named Lance today.
Yeah, right. Want it to be Larry. It's probably not going to win, but that's where my heart is. Give me Larry. Give me Larry.
I'll keep my fingers crossed on a Lionel appearance today. That would be the other side for Pro-Am Sports. We'll get his thoughts on the goaltending discussion, some of the other battles in camp as well. And we dropped a new pit stop.
Monday night doubleheader in the NFL. Browns running back Nick Chubb leaving early with a knee injury. He is expected to be done for the season as the Browns drop one in Pittsburgh 26-22 to the Steelers. At Oakland 5-0. Rangers drop one to Boston 4-2. Toronto had the day off. They'll head to New York and take Texas and Seattle for that second wild card spot. The Oilers wrapped up the Young Stars tournament with a day one, in the UEFA Champions League kicks off later this morning and this afternoon with 8 matches in total.
And you go hard betting on week 1, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a minute it takes? Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Nielsen Show, 8:25 on a Tuesday morning. Thank you very much for being here. We apologize to those of you who are watching the stream. The last 3 mornings, listen, maybe somebody, actually, Gager was a cable guy. I mean, Gager might know this. So the last 3 mornings, the first week was good, but for the last 3 mornings, around 8:20 to 8:40-ish, for about, what do you say, 2 minutes? About 2 minutes. The internet just kind of goes weak for about 2 minutes. And then